that Sikhs need it because it's part of our religion, okay, like that. The other Second Amendment issues are part of this lawsuit, but they're kind of a separate issue in some ways.
This is more of a First Amendment
religious
freedom issue than a Second Amendment issue.
That's right. Yeah, I do think the Second Amendment does allow for the assault weapons for regular Americans. Okay, I do want to say that.
And I was educating Kevin on our way up here just about the Sikh community here. It's large. It's a large community. You have a huge festival here that draws thousands of people here.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you speak on behalf of all those? Do you think that you're speaking for the majority of Sikhs?
Well, I think that brings up a good point. In the Sikh religion, there are no priests. Okay, we don't have any per se a pope or anything like that. Every Sikh has an individual relationship with God, and so I am doing this what I feel is right, and I know there are Sikhs that disagree with me, okay, because I've had a lot of feedback on the internet. There are a lot of Sikhs that agree with me, okay, but that is really not my concern, okay. My concern is with my individual relationship with my guru and with God, all right, and that's it. That's all that matters. So I'm just doing the right thing.
It's an individual thing, not
That's right. That's right.
How successful do you think you'll be in terms of? Do you think is this more about getting your message out, or do you think, or is this winning the lawsuit?
I did not file this lawsuit to be frivolous. Okay, I definitely intend to move forward with it, and I'll move forward with the discovery, and I'll move forward with sending summons to the state of California and Jerry Brown, and I talked to several attorneys about it, and they said that it's not a slam dunk. Nothing is. It's always a crapshoot when you go to court. Okay, so it's going to take a lot of work. There's no question about it. But I do think there's good constitutional precedent and issues here that we're dealing with. Okay, about just what is freedom of religion. What is that about? What is it involved to mean about self-defense and about defense of others, things like that.
And if it's a tenet of the religion, does that constitute then?
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting, way to look at this issue. All right, because I've been seeing for months about all this, gun control. It's so un-PC now to be, for guns and weapons. I was just thinking, they did. Well, obviously, most of these people did not have the experiences I had when I was growing up. My father was in the Marine Corps for 15 years, and he was at Pearl Harbor when it was attacked by the Japanese. So we grew up, my brother and I, with weapons and guns. I mean, I remember when he put 2 pistols on the bed, and he said, this is how you always treat a gun like it's loaded. All right, he always taught us respect for firearms and guns. So I was in Boy Scout camp. We used to shoot with 22s. They never do that now, And so I grew up. I was in a military school from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We had rifle teams. We went back to Camp Prairie, Ohio. It was just like second nature. It's not like you feared the guns, It was like you respected them. You knew that they were dangerous. If they treated them wrongly, okay. So it was an education thing. All right, and that's completely disappeared now with all this fear about what weapons will do. And only weapons will do wrong things if they're in the hands of wrong people. That's just the basic law. So that's why I feel I'm coaching a junior rifle team. You may have seen that on that other clip on Channel 10, but I'm coaching a junior rifle team here in Yuba City, and trying to train juniors in shooting and how to use weapons and things like that. And so that's what I'd really like to tell your audience is that don't be afraid of guns. I mean, you just have to learn how to treat them, what to do with them. That's all.
And when's the right time to use them?
When's the right time to use them? That's right. And if people live in fear of weapons, then the other bad guys have won. Okay, because they got you. If you don't have weapons, you don't have an understanding of them. Or how to defend yourself, then you're living in fear of these mad people that get and they're going to get a hold of those guns whether they make them completely illegal or not. Okay, even in the UK, I lived there for a while where guns are completely illegal. They still get a hold of them, and they still hurt people, and then they start using knives or other kind of weapons that they can get. Look at that guy who I think he shot 60. Kids at that camp in Norway, You know, he got an assault weapon, and there was nobody who knew anything about weapons or how to defend themselves. And he just had a free-for-all there, you know. So my feeling is that we need to have training. We need to start training our young people again in how to respect and use weapons, you know.
Good. Now we'll get a couple shots of the two of you.
Can you look at the shots of them?
Let me get a shot of the two of you standing here real quick, and then we'll get a shot.